Belvedere is a cozy seaside town. Originally a popular vacation spot for wealthy San Franciscans, it is now home to just over 2,000 people. They have lives, homes, families, dreams, aspirations, and ambitions. All of this is at risk. The seawall, a concrete barrier built atop a levee designed to protect homes and roads from flooding, is in danger of collapsing.
I've lived in Belvedere my entire life, and it's the place that I love the most and the place I call home. And I can't imagine that one day this could all be washed away in front of my eyes.
The seawall's been there for 100 years, and it was basically built to protect the levee, which Beach Road sits on top of. And over the years, the wave action has kind of scoured the bottom.
The seawall is coming apart, so metal is showing, it's pulling away from the levee itself. We originally thought it was a smaller area that needed to be addressed. We now have a situation where a little over 100 feet is in imminent danger of falling.
Belvedere is no stranger to flooding. In 1982, winter storms overtook the seawall on San Rafael Avenue. According to a witness of the event,
"We couldn't even find San Rafael Avenue. It was a sheet of water that went from Richardson Bay over San Rafael Avenue into the lagoon."
Now, almost 40 years later, hundreds of families are threatened again.
When I was younger, my friends and I, when we were looking for something to do, we would always choose to go down by the seawall and play at a rocky beach that's, over there, down some steps. And recently, over the past few years, the water levels have been rising significantly. And you can clearly see it because the rocks would get more crumbly and there would be no beach to play on. And it's really sad to see that this is happening when there's nothing you can do about it.
We've found through engineering studies that it's seismically unstable. The constant wave action from Belvedere Cove has undermined the seawall.
From outward appearances, you can't really see how bad the situation is under the water.
Well, the seawall really protects that levee, which is a key levee, not only because it would potentially, if the levee went, you'd end up flooding a bunch of homes, but also it's the key access route in and out of town.
The threat of sea level rise and collapse is looming, but it's looming in a way that there's a lot more questions than there are answers. The theories for what could actually happen vary so widely that nobody really knows what to prepare for.
Since the dawn of the industrial era, the concentration of carbon dioxide has been increasing exponentially. This has caused unpredictable fluctuations in both the weather and sea levels, leaving large questions as to how we should protect ourselves for the future. The world is heating up, ice is melting, and sea levels are rising. The projections are dire, and it's only getting worse.
The slow-moving emergency is only slow until it reaches its tipping point.
The immediate job right now is to rebuild or reinforce that seawall.
If we don't get this taken care of right now, instead of having a small problem to fix, we're going to have a really big problem to fix.
Climate change is a great unknown and it's a really hard concept to grasp, but I do know that at the rate that climate change is happening, that something will happen to Belvedere if we don't do something right now. That climate change will affect not only my little town that I call home of Belvedere, but the entire world, and something needs to happen here and everywhere.
Globally or systemically, we've got to reduce our carbon emissions. We've got to bring the temperature of the planet, if not down, at least stabilize it so that it doesn't go even higher.
The effect of global warming right now is just how people are thinking about what they need to do and how much money are we going to spend to build this wall and how tall are we going to need to build it and what are we going to sacrifice in the way that our community feels. Are we going to lose that beautiful walking path on San Rafael Avenue that everybody loves to walk down and has amazing views of Richardson Bay? Are we going to have to sacrifice that to protect ourselves from flooding because we need to build a 6-foot-high wall?
We've come up with a plan. In December, we're going to be talking to the public here in Belvedere about this idea of improving seawalls all around the city.
Here in Belvedere, citizens are educated about this topic, know about it, have money, are ready to do something about it. The city council is ready to take action. But other places that don't know so much about this topic and who are facing the same problems that we are are at a standstill and are not as lucky as we are, and I don't know what we're gonna do, let alone what they're gonna do.
My fear is that we are moving way too slowly on dealing nationally and internationally with a catastrophe that's coming, and it's coming faster than anybody thinks. We're seeing fires and devastation and hurricanes, and if those aren't warning signs, I don't know what are.
This constant state of anxiety and fear of what's gonna happen next is something that I have to live with every single day, but it's gonna be something that everyone has to live with very, very soon.
Hopefully, the powers that be will not just concentrate on building walls as we are and fixing streets so that they're higher and building bridges so that they're higher, but dealing with the overall issue that's causing it in the first place. And that, I think, is a fast-moving catastrophe rather than a slow-moving one.